Hi, my name's Karen Wolfgang and I'm here with Independence Gardens to show you how to clean and maintain your hand tools for the garden and some of the supplies that you will need to do that. First, you'll start with your personal protective equipment, gloves in this case. To clean your blades, you can use an SOS pad or, my preference, plain steel wool with a non-toxic detergent and some water. If you have a really rusty blade, you could use a commercially available rust remover. Naval jelly is the standard, but it's petroleum based and we like to get something that's non-toxic and biodegradable. If your blade is damaged, you would start filing it with a fine file, but if it's just a little bit dull, you would use a sharpening stone. There's different types out there, so make sure to follow the directions that come with it. With this stone, we use an oil. That's not the case with all. To keep the moving parts in good working order, WD-40 is an old standby if you have some around, or you could get a non-toxic, a safer alternative at your local hardware store. Finally, you need a clean cloth to wipe off the fruits of your labor. Leaving a tool outside in the elements, even just for one night, can make it seize up or rust. But even the most beat-up garden tools can be brought back to life using a few simple techniques. This hand pruners, for example, was left out overnight. And now, I'm going to show you how to bring it back to good working order. First, unlock it and dip the blades in some water. Put a little detergent on the blade, and take my steel wool and get in there. If it got really rusty, I might have to do this for quite some time, or I might need the assistance of my rust remover. But for now, the detergent's going to work just fine. When I've removed the rust from the blades, all that visible rust, I will dip it again in my water and then dry it off with a clean cloth. Because what I really want is a clean blade before I try to sharpen it. I'm going to go straight to my sharpening stone in just a minute after I use the fine file, to get a notch out of the blade. So to do that, I'm going to grip the tool firmly and use short strokes, just like this, to get that notch out. I don't want to run my finger along the blade, but I want to make sure that there's no pulling, no big score in that blade. So when I've done that, this particular sharpening stone calls for oil, honing oil. So I'm going to put a little dab on there, big dab, and again use short strokes at about a 30-degree angle. To get that blade reconditioned. So it might take a little bit longer than that. Wipe off the blade. Okay, test it. And then we're going to put some penetrating oil to keep our moving parts in good working order. So my WD-40 alternative, my safer alternative, is going to go in every little nook and cranny of this tool. So anywhere that the parts move, the blades, all the little bits in here. That shouldn't be too drippy, but the nozzle in this is a little confusing. So I'm going to open that up and work the tool so that that oil penetrates into all the crevices. And when I've done that, it should function very smoothly. All the locks should work. I'm going to take the surface oil off using my cloth. So I'm not going to get in there. The penetrating oil has to have some more time to penetrate, but I'm going to take off the surface stuff so that it doesn't drip all over the place while it's in storage. And then, to prevent this from getting rusty again, I'm going to store it in a cool, dry location out of the moisture, out of the elements, and then it will be in great condition the next time I want to take it out into the garden.